Hey guys, this is Justin. Hello and welcome to another video. So I wanted to talk about some things that are affecting me and some other people in the community, give kind of an update and a check-in because you all know I like to do that every 6 months or so. But before we get there, I know a lot of you follow me on Twitter. You know that I'm fairly political minded. I try to talk about current events. So I'm not going to ignore what happened today with Charlie Kirk. Obviously, got to be careful what I say because of YouTube's algorithm and how it censors things, but you know, it's obviously terrible. I'm concerned generally about political violence, and I also know that a lot of you were probably exposed to some fairly troubling footage, and hopefully, if it does bother you, you've got someone you can talk to. I know especially if you've never seen something like that before, it can be tough. And I just feel awful. I'm a dad, so I know he's got kids or he had kids and that they were actually in attendance. And that's just made me feel really sick more than anything else. Really did not like Charlie Kirk while he was here. I didn't like the way he communicated, but there were better avenues than violence to counter that, of course. Anyway, that's all I'm going to be saying about that. I do want to talk about YouTube today because things are tough. Before that event dominated the news cycle, I put a tweet out basically saying, pray for your favorite Star Wars YouTuber because things are tough right now. And a lot of people, I think, other creators echoed that sentiment. And people were wondering, well, is it Star Wars or is it changes to YouTube? Which I think a lot of you have probably heard from other creators you watched, and really it's both. I want to get into what's going on YouTube in just a second, and by the way, I'm sure many of you have seen these videos from other creators you've watched, so thanks for tuning in to me, but Star Wars really is at an all-time low in terms of fan interest, at least on YouTube. I'm sure there are some people who were around in the way old days, you know, pre-2013, 2014, who might have a different opinion. But in the 8 years I've been on Star Wars YouTube, things are fairly dire. Like, it already got a little tougher when the trilogy ended, but I mean, we always had shows, whether Mandalorian or Kenobi or even Andor Season 2, which really buoyed interest. Now there's nothing, you know. Without playing too much inside baseball, I've always had sort of a number for a good upload, an average upload, and a bad upload. For the longest time, a 30K upload, 30,000 views was pretty much a disaster. 50K was what you'd expect, and 100K or higher was good. And, you know, usually once a month you'd have a video that hit several 100,000 views, 1 million views, whatever. It's just not like that anymore. Part of it is due to, yes, the decline in fan interest, but also the format itself has just, you know, expanded. There are so many other creators. It's also less fresh. Like, you can only do so many lore videos. There's only so much to talk about. And viewer interest and demographic changes. The people I'm making content for now are just different. My original audience is still there, but a good chunk of my audience has moved on and been replaced by people who are younger with different attention spans and different interests. And I'm not saying that as a value judgment, it's just objectively true. A lot of YouTube right now is really getting that hook and finding a way to get people through the front door and delivering on content. And that's always been my approach. I know a lot of you have complaints about thumbnails and titling, and I totally understand it. And I've actually, because I do really care about the audience experience, went out of my way to be a bit more descriptive with what's going on in the video. And yeah, sometimes I know some people still have issues, but I always try to make it so that if you come through the front door, that either way, at the end, you leave satisfied. So yeah, Star Wars YouTube is at an all-time low. Like, not just me, look at the other big Star Wars channels. You're seeing low numbers, especially for our subscriber base. You know, it's honestly kind of embarrassing when I talk to other YouTubers and they see my subscriber numbers and the video views, but thankfully, I want to get to the second point. It's not just Star Wars YouTube, it's all of YouTube right now. There have been changes. People have pointed to the restricted mode setting. I don't think that's as big as some people are claiming, especially for the average channel, but there have certainly been changes in how content is displayed. The home screen, the browse screen, which videos get put in front of which eyes. Like, I just noticed when I log onto my YouTube, the homepage just looks different. And it seems like especially a lot of the independent creators are the ones who are suffering, I guess. Like, the vast majority of the content on my home screen now is either music, professionally produced content, like say The Daily Show, or just old videos. I don't really know why. I'm not going to act like I have all the explanations, but it's really quite surprising. I have a lot of YouTube friends. I've followed a lot of YouTubers, and I see these channels which in the past, first half an hour, they'd get 10,000 views. My number used to be the first hour. A good video would get about 10,000. A really good one, 20,000. An average one, 5. And we're just all seeing decreased view velocity, and I really can't explain it, but it's tough. And it does mean that if things stay this way, I'm going to have to adapt a little bit. And it's hard. It really is hard. Like, I'm going to be a bit vulnerable and say that, yeah, working for yourself is always a risk, and it can be scary, but it's also a choice I made, and I reap the benefits. And as a business owner and as someone who employs people, at the end of the day, you just have to make it work. Thankfully, while the Star Wars channel is down, my hockey channel, the season's coming. I suspect I'll have a good year there. I've got other pokers in the fire, and I also really want to kind of move to alternate forms of funding. Like, I've been trying to push the Patreon. Fan interest has kind of waned a bit. Like, I feel like I offer a really good value proposition. So if you are interested, you can subscribe for like $2. I would vastly prefer to have several hundred people at, the $2 to $5 range than a few people at the higher range, just more stable. And we're about to put out the next vote for the book club. If you're interested in that, we're going to have discussion posts as well. I'm working on an Alien video, which should come out in the next couple of days. The one on YouTube will have to be censored for the platform. There will be an uncensored version on Patreon. I just, it's scary. I don't know if it's ever been quite this bad, and it's not uniquely bad for me, which kind of makes me feel a bit better. Everyone is dealing with this. I just want to stop things from going in a death spiral. That's what scares me the most. A period of lower views and lower money I can recover from. I just hope we can find a way on the other side. I've been experimenting with some different content as well. That's part of the tough thing. I think the videos I've made recently have been really good. I did 2 science fiction fantasy videos yesterday and the day before, really in-depth on good pieces of art. They did not get pushed at all, which was really disappointing. But I'm going to keep experimenting, and I'm going to find something that works. So you've got a couple of science fiction and fantasy discussion videos, you've got a lore video, you've got a battle breakdown video, you've got some news all in the past couple of weeks. So just don't forget about us. Keep looking, and not just for me, for all of the creators that you watch on a routine basis. I watch a ton of YouTube. I like to sit down in my chair, start working, and watch the new uploads from all the people I've been watching for years now, and for whatever reason, it's a bit tougher right now. So yeah, I don't really know what the point of this is. Just, it's tough. We're going to get through it. But yeah, if you guys have any insight, of course, please let me know as well. I don't know. Figure it out. We have to. There's no other choice. See you guys later.